Imagine the world's biggest sporting event, one stage where billions of viewers and millions of fans unite, suddenly thrown into uncertainty. A tournament designed to celebrate inclusivity, passion, and global culture now finds itself caught in the cross-currents of politics and policy. What if the matches fans have dreamed of attending are shifted across borders, or worse, canceled altogether? It sounds unthinkable, yet behind the scenes, conversations have already begun. Later in this story, we'll reveal just how close these plans are to becoming reality, but the warning signs are already visible. Before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. In less than 2 years, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is set to unfold across North America. For the first time in history, the event was awarded jointly to 3 nations: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It was meant to be bold and historic, a symbol of cooperation across borders. But instead of preparing for a smooth celebration, FIFA insiders and global sponsors are quietly mapping out contingency scenarios. The concern is not stadium readiness or fan enthusiasm. It's trade barriers, visa restrictions, and corporate uncertainty that threaten the ability of the United States to meet its hosting commitments. Signs of shifting confidence are already here. Emirates Airlines, once committed to a multi-million-dollar advertising package in U.S. venues, has quietly redirected $15 million toward Canadian events instead. For industry observers, this is more than symbolic. It signals a decline in trust. Sponsors are sensitive to instability, and the fact that major players are already reallocating budgets shows contingency planning is no longer just theory. Hosting the World Cup is about more than showcasing athletes. It's a rare opportunity for soft power, tourism, and global prestige. For the United States, the tournament was supposed to project stability and openness. Instead, it risks becoming a case study in self-sabotage. New tariffs, prolonged bureaucratic delays, and visa barriers are casting shadows over the very inclusivity the World Cup was meant to embody. If these problems aren't resolved, matches could be reassigned with as little as 90 days' notice, reshaping the event in ways few fans expect but may soon face. Now consider the fan experience, the heartbeat of every tournament. Under current conditions, thousands of supporters face hurdles just to step foot inside a U.S. stadium. A sweeping travel ban affecting 12 countries has already blocked tens of thousands of potential ticket buyers, including full fan bases of teams that have already qualified. For those still eligible, the costs are rising. A $250 visa fee now applies to most travelers, and in many consulates, appointments stretch beyond 16 months. Aligning tickets, travel, and visas has become nearly impossible. This ripples beyond ticket sales. Local organizing committees, anticipating lower attendance, are scaling back cultural events and volunteer programs. Fan zones meant to celebrate diversity risk shrinking into half-filled spaces. Instead of vibrant festivals, some cities may end up managing subdued gatherings, undermining the celebratory spirit that defines a World Cup. The strain doesn't stop with fans. Infrastructure is under pressure. Every scoreboard, lighting rig, and reinforced seating section depends on imports that once moved seamlessly across borders. Now, with stricter customs checks and tariffs, shipments are delayed and budgets are stretched. Stadium expansions relying on Canadian steel have faced repeated setbacks. Seating, high-definition displays, and LED panels are trickling in months late. Organizers are being forced into costlier overtime, smaller designs, or cheaper alternatives. Those shortcuts might save money in the short term, but they erode the prestige of the event. International tournaments depend not just on preparation, but on perception. Substituting premium features with budget fixes sends a signal to the world, not of readiness, but of disorder. And in global events, perception can be as damaging as actual failure. Visa processes are an even bigger obstacle. Average wait times for interviews now stretch beyond 300 days in many countries. For countless fans, the entire tournament will pass before they even get a chance to apply. Some are told to book appointments a year in advance, making even carefully planned travel impossible. For a tournament that thrives on last-minute excitement, these barriers transform passion into frustration. Entire fan bases are excluded in one stroke of policy. Empty seats don't just mean lost revenue. They erase the chants, traditions, and energy that define international football. A quieter, flatter atmosphere diminishes the experience for players, fans, and global audiences alike. Sponsors see this clearly. The World Cup is supposed to guarantee visibility, crowds, and stable returns. But in the U.S., uncertainty dominates. Emirates and Visa have already shifted large parts of their budgets to Canada and Mexico, Other corporations are trimming their U.S. campaigns and reallocating activations across the border. This recalibration has consequences. Host cities counting on hundreds of millions in sponsorship revenue may now face funding gaps that cannot easily be filled. That means fewer cultural festivals, smaller fan villages, and scaled-back hospitality. For fans, it means less spectacle. For cities, it's a sobering reminder that corporate trust shifts quickly. And here's the reveal. FIFA itself is no longer treating these problems as speculation. Internal contingency planning has matured into executable blueprints. Operations teams have already mapped out how matches, broadcasts, and volunteers could be relocated to Canada or Mexico with minimal disruption. Hotel bookings, charter flights, and ticket redistribution have all been simulated. This is no longer what if, it's when. For Canada, this is both a challenge and an opportunity. Its stadium network is smaller, but reliable. Vancouver's BC Place has hosted the Olympics and Women's World Cup finals. Toronto's upgrades will bring capacity to 45,000, meeting FIFA's requirements. Crucially, Canada offers smoother entry. For many countries, visas can be secured in weeks, or aren't required at all. This efficiency reassures fans and sponsors alike. Add in strong transit systems, hotel capacity, and cultural readiness, and Canada looks like a safe bet for reassigned matches. Mexico brings a different but equally strong case. With 2 World Cups under its belt, its credibility is unmatched. Mexico City's Estadio Azteca remains one of the most iconic arenas in football history. Monterrey's Estadio BBVA and Guadalajara's Estadio Akron add modern infrastructure and atmosphere. Mexico also offers easier travel access, especially for Latin American fans. Entry often requires no visa, making spontaneous travel possible. Its football infrastructure is already in place, eliminating the uncertainty of rushed construction. If matches shift south, FIFA knows Mexico can deliver on schedule. For U.S. host cities, the economic fallout would be immense. Billions in tourism revenue are at risk. Hotels booked years in advance could sit empty. Restaurants and bars that hired staff for record demand may face devastating losses. Airlines, charter buses, and ride-shares would lose their peak season, and tens of thousands of seasonal jobs, ushers, translators, caterers, drivers, could evaporate. For many workers, the World Cup was more than a paycheck. It was a financial lifeline. Losing that chance would ripple into families, neighborhoods, and small businesses. Beyond economics lies prestige. Hosting the World Cup is about image as much as revenue. To lose matches due to natural disasters would be one thing. To lose them because of self-imposed barriers would send a different message: incompetence. That perception could linger for decades, discouraging future global events from trusting the United States. Meanwhile, Canada and Mexico are actively cultivating reputations as reliable, inclusive hosts. Every streamlined visa process and every demonstration of readiness reinforces their credibility. If the U.S. falters, the vacuum of trust will not stay empty. It will be filled by neighbors eager to seize the spotlight. The countdown is ticking. Less than 2 years remain until kickoff, but FIFA could announce relocations with as little as 12 months to spare. That window is closing fast. For the United States, this means only one thing: act now or risk losing the tournament's prestige. For fans, that could mean traveling north or south to see the matches they expected in Los Angeles, Dallas, or New York. For the U.S., it would mean lost trust, lost revenue, and lost influence. When the world gathers to celebrate football, the question is not only which team lifts the trophy, but which nation earns the admiration of global audiences. Right now, the contrast is stark. Where the U.S. is tangled in tariffs and travel bans, Canada and Mexico are emphasizing openness and readiness. Economists warn that the financial scars of relocation could outlast the tournament. Entire infrastructure projects, from transit expansions to urban revitalization, were justified by projected World Cup revenue. If those projections collapse, cities may be left with debt and political backlash instead of economic windfalls. The World Cup is more than a game. It's a symbol of global unity. But for the United States, it may also become a symbol of missed opportunity. Remember to hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.